All right, what's up, everyone? It's Tion Becoate back with another Diamond Cup Media interview today, doing it virtual style. And we have Nashville, Tennessee's Jyou. Jyou, what's up, my man?
Yo, yo, what's good, bro?
How you feeling today, bro?
Man, blessed. I cannot complain. I cannot complain.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Nashville. I want to know a little bit about Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, for sure. Dang, okay, a little bit about Nashville. Okay, a fun fact is we like the landscape is like a bowl. That's what they say. So it's like basically we're down. So like that like the way Nashville is built, the interstate is like a circle around the city, and like the land is like down. So when it rains, like we always in like like a flooding zone. You know what I mean? So that's a little fun fact about Nashville, but it's cool. I mean, I've been there all my life. It's grown a lot over the past couple years, but yeah. I guess I like it.
Okay, cool. And I know Memphis gets a lot of the attention in Tennessee, but Nashville is also historic.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's known as Music City, as everybody know. But everybody always, compare to country music, but it's really about the Jubilee singers at Fisk University, which is a historically black college. So yeah.
Okay, shout out. I didn't know Fist was in Nashville. I went to HBCU myself.
For real, for
Mhm.
real.
I went to South Carolina State University.
Okay, good. So
For sure, for sure. All right, bro. So let's get into the questions. First things first, Jyou. Seeing your real name is kind of obvious how you got your name, but for the people out there, how did you get the name Jyou?
It came from college. I went to HBCU, so I went to Tennessee State University. And freshman year, I had some friends that were from Memphis, and it was like they mixed with like the Nashville crew, and it was two Jordans in the crew. And shout out to Jay Woo. They called him Jay Woo, and so they was like, you know what, we gonna call you Ju. And literally, it was funny because it sounds the same when they used to yell it, but for some reason, that was like our little nickname to separate us. So everybody started calling me Ju in college, but people used to call me Jay in high school. So it just kind of looked stuck for real. And so then it became my artist name.
Okay, nice. So you talk about the Nashville and Memphis crew. Do people from Nashville and Memphis get along?
I mean, at TSU for sure. I mean, I think in general for sure. I mean, I think like Nashville people real chill. Memphis people chill for sure. Like, when they not at Memphis. So
Did you hear what Stephen A said about Memphis?
I did. I think Stephen A is, he's a little ignorant, but I think he said, didn't he say like it was like something about like it's a whole bunch of crime, it's all nothing but crime or something like that.
I don't wanna I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he was just basically like no athlete wants to live in the city of Memphis, kind of, yeah, because of the crime.
Nah, I don't think that's true because Zebo from what Indiana is Zebo is like beloved in Memphis, so like that's not true at all.
Okay, don't stop the cap, Stephen A. Stop the cap.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. So we're gonna get into the questions a little bit. All right, so you grew up in a church-centered household in Nashville. You know, how did that upbringing influence like how you approach music?
Uh, really, I think uh because my mom and like my dad, they were like ministers and they were into like worship, so like we were in the church very early. Like I'm just talking about like on Sundays, on Wednesdays, just in church early in the what's it called, in the choir. Like we were just doing everything. Like we would do little, like I used to do sign language, and then my boy used to mime. Like folks used to just be just ingratiated all through the church. So like I think everything in the church is about like feeling and about worship, and just about the when you hear the songs and worship, and the feelings that like the words you know put on you. It's like it almost like what is it called, like writes out your whole life, if that makes sense. So and then it really touches your heart. So I feel like I took that, and it's carried on into my own music, if that makes sense.
Okay, dope. And when did you start making music?
Uh, I actually started making music like really young with my cousin. We used to just mess around and like write raps and record them. But I probably like only took it seriously after, not after college, after like my first year of college, like my sophomore year, junior, something like that.
Okay, dope. And with you growing up in church and having parents that were ministers, like, did they feel a way about like you making music?
Oh, for sure. They didn't need. They was like, oh, okay, So you know how everything else, you know what I mean. But I feel like with anything, when you're consistent and you stay with something, and then like they see it in person. I remember my dad, like the first time he saw me perform like in person, he was just like he got it. Like after that, it just clicked for him. He was like, okay, I get it. And he seen me like because I used to act back in the day, and he used to be like he was a director as well. So he see me in plays, he see me perform before. So he was just like, man, it was just like, but yeah, it was different. He was like he was really proud of me for sure.
All right, shout out to your parents, man, for supporting you. All right, so you kind of segue to my next question. You were a child actor.
Yeah.
What did you play in anything like notable or like what were you acting in?
I was really doing like plays. I was in like let me think notable. I was in this like Lifehouse Everything skit. I played like a little what is it called? The devil, like a demon. Not a devil. I played the demon, and my dad played the devil. But it was like this I don't know. It's hard to explain, but other than that, I also did something else. I did like David and Goliath at the Municipal Auditorium, and that jump was cool. It was like a bunch of, it was like 10,000 folks. It was a lot of people. I was young when I did it, but it was turned. But other than that, nah, not like anything like movies or TV or something. I had the opportunity to be in the shop, but my parents didn't let me be in it because it was like too much cussing. Back to the church stuff. So yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. One of my boys, he loves the shot. It'd have been crazy to see you in there.
Literally, like it was a lead role, so everything happened for a reason.
That's a fact. How did being a child actor, did that like boost your confidence with making music?
Um, I don't think it. I don't think making music. I think maybe probably just boosted confidence in performing mostly. But I think everything is like different once you get into it. It's a new force every time you try a new skill.
Okay, dope. And do you consider yourself a hip hop artist?
For sure, for sure. I came up in hip hop, but I think I experienced it. All different things that inspired me. So
Who were some of your early influences?
early influences, of course Kendrick, of course Frank. I think about my parents used to put on a lot of like Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, like Stevie Wonder. Um, I think about probably those, probably like a Tribe Called Quest. Yeah,
Okay, and with you being in Nashville, we kind of spoke about it, the home of country music. How was it carving out a space as like a hip hop artist?
It was tough, at first. It was a couple people like, of course, before us, and everybody was having a just tough deal because just hard to get in rooms and spaces to perform, and really just people to get behind pushing that type of music. But I think the more like with anything, the more consistency you put in anything, people start to notice. And now we're at a point where a lot of us are just branching out and doing our things and touching the region as well as the city. So
Are there any like major artists from Nashville hip hop wise?
I think the biggest one around, I say of course my boy that rap with me, KON Khan. He's like Nashville, got the best of Nashville like 2 years in a row. I say like Tim Gent, Mike Floss, the Rap Girl, Brian Brown. There's a couple of folks that's really out here doing it for real. Boy Shrames, Demo. I can keep going now.
So you would say Nashville scene is kind of buzzing right now.
For sure. Like if you ain't tapped in, you need to tap in because you're gonna be too late.
Okay, dope. So I do want to say congrats to signing the East Music Row Records.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Talk about that label a little bit. Is it an indie label, like, and talk about your signing, like, what does that mean for you, creatively?
For sure. It's an indie art label. They're under Deluge Music, and they're really dope. Johnny, David, Austin, all people over there. They basically I met Johnny at a show at Soho House that I had. He literally was just, I think he was just at Soho, and I guess him and his friend were there, and his friend was like, "Oh, it's a show upstairs." And they went upstairs, and I was up there performing, and literally just like a movie, bro. We've been locked in ever since. So it's just a lot of love, coming from that camp, and I'm just grateful that they believe in me and that we had this, partnership going.
Okay, dope. How long have you been signed with the label?
Since I want to say April.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Dope, dope. All right, and so you got a new song coming out on July 11th. I got an early listen to it. Definitely feeling the track. So I'm gonna talk about Hit, HIIT.
Yes, sir.
What was the energy like in the studio when that song came together?
It was really cool because we probably had a couple sessions before that, and like before we were just doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Like I was coming in, like just trying just a whole bunch of different vibes, and that was like the first day. We was like, I was like, you know what? Let's do some rap stuff. Like let's lead it in, and like let's really like make it like some moving, something moving. And what inspired it was literally Broadway. If you know anything about Nashville, Broadway is huge, and it's where all they put the novelty country stuff at. And so, literally, I was thinking about how the girls be like the bridal showers, and they get into the buses. They got the cowboy hats, and they be turning up like they be going crazy. And so, like that was literally kind of what inspired that record because I was like, bro, I want this to be played on Broadway. Like, I want everybody to turn up to this. So, yeah.
Is Hit an acronym for some?
I was just thinking like high intensity. What is it? High intensity, something, something, something. I should have known before. I said, but like, what is it's like that workout? You know, like
Yeah, the
what?
Hit workouts.
Yeah, 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 exactly. So that's really what inspired it too, because that it's a lot of work. People in like the workout season, everybody on a run club and a you feel me movement. So you know what I mean. I want to hit all audiences.
Yeah, that's true, man. A lot of people have been on their workouts. Shout out to everybody being healthy. So how do you define your sound?
My sound. That's a great question. I would say like really like cinematic, ambient. It's feeling music. It's moody music. It's music that inspires you at the right times and hits those heartstrings that you're feeling at the time. If that makes sense.
Okay, okay. You mentioned kind of wanting to flip the South on its head sonically.
Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
it's a great question. Well, like everything is like I love like the bass and like it's like real deep oops and like jazz, and I kind of want to mix that in with just the also like the rock elements that's also a part of because everything also everything stems from blues, so I just want to kind of like attach all parts in the music if that makes sense. And coming from the south, like I feel like it used to be a lot of that, but like now it's like now. I mean, I'm not gonna say now it's not. I'm gonna say now in mainstream you don't hear a lot of that sound. So maybe I'm not gonna know if I break through mainstream, but maybe I just want to be a tribute to that. People that's flipping the sound on the head. If that makes sense.
Okay, dope. You saw the movie. Have you seen Sinners?
Yeah, I have seen Sinners.
So it's kind of you kind of doing that in a sense, like connecting all the dots.
No, that's actually a great example. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. They kind of did. They definitely was doing that with that song. Like they were like weaving in and out of that. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So I want to ask, what role does visuals and storytelling play in like your song creation process?
That's a huge role. I'm actually a huge fan of music videos and visuals. I think probably because my acting background and I like to just make something that replicates what I felt in the music. But then also like like with big the more budgets you can do, the more things you can do. So I'm just excited about like the future music and the future music visuals that I got in my head because I really like I think of Runaway by Kanye West. Like that shit was hard. He had like a whole movie with that, and then like those things I fuck with that.
I was gonna say, what's some of your favorite music videos like all time?
Great question. Great question. Okay, for sure. For sure, Runaway. I will say, um, damn. Now I want to draw a blank because you asked me the question. Uh, hmm. I don't know if anybody's ever seen like the Dijon, but Dijon made it like this whole thing to that album. I forgot it's like the dresses on the album many times, but Dijon is hard. But he made like a whole visual in like a setting. It was like in like a little house, but it was like a whole a setup they had in the studio. It was really dope.
How do you feel about music videos now? Because I think from like my point of view, like covering music videos, a lot
Hmm.
of music videos are kind of the same now. They all like have the same aesthetic, just mad people jumping around. Depending on the artist, it's like weapons or just money in the video. Like it's kind of all the same. So how do you feel about music videos?
Uh, they could definitely. I feel like I don't know. It's just depending on the artist. I think now I'm really I'm thinking like Kenny Mason did a drop with his last music, and his music videos be hard, and he still be talking about all that type of like guns, gang, and stuff. But his music videos be like he did like it on like a little walking treadmill, and then it would go in and out of him being in there, and then him being like digitalized. It was cool. So I think like as long as people think out of the box, like Tizo, like different. As long as you just think out of the box, I think it's just where we look at. But you know what I mean.
And when I was doing research on you, you also said your music is free and felt. What does that mean?
I think I just flow. I try to. Uh, I think as more as I get into, not I think, but I know as more as I like pen more, I know like it matters to me to show like rap style, but like most matters to me is about like hitting the right feel when the chords and the melody is there, and I think that feel is like something that you only know through time and skill and just continuously living and taking it in and internalizing and writing every day. So I'm figuring it out as I go, but that's kind of what I feel like I'm growing more as a writer uh, in my songs like that.
Okay, and we spoke about this kind of in the beginning of the interview. You and Khan earned Best Hip Hop Act from Nashville scene last year. Now, how does it feel to get that recognition in your city?
For sure, it was a year before last, but for sure.
That's
Uh, it was beautiful, like because we've worked, you know what I mean, really hard. Not just up to that point, but even after, we're just hard workers, and we're the type of people that like when we want something, we gonna get it by any means. So it was just beautiful to be recognized by the our peers. So yeah.
okay. Tell me a little bit about the Inner Circle Collective.
For sure. Inner Circle, we're a creative collective started by me, Khan, and my boy Miles, and rest in peace, our brother Elijah Horton. Uh, we started it back in 2021, and it was just us getting together, kind of wanting to build spaces for people like us that did rap, did R&B in the city, so they could, perform their music and be able to have an audience that comes out. And there were some people, but we also wanted to, it was some people that were doing it, but it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? That we needed more, so we became an advocate just for other artists in our community, and it's been wonderful. We've been awarded by think with different things in the community, so we're just glad that we can keep bringing the community together for real.
That's what's up. All right, so your new song hit. That feels like the start of something big. What can fans expect from you this summer?
A lot of drops, music coming out, and yeah, different installations, different cool visuals that'll be out for sure. I'm gonna be everywhere. I'm outside I'm an introvert, but I'm back outside now, so I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Speak on that a little bit, because you're an introvert, but as an artist, and when you're trying to build a brand or build a name, you got to be outside. So how do you find that balance?
It's tough. It's tough. I think now it's kind of finding my solitude in certain times and just appreciating the times that I have and then appreciating the times that I'm out. Cause like different times, uh, you could feel different ways. I could be somewhere and not have a place to go or not actually be out here doing the things that I want to do. Because I'm, too scared to do them. So it's just like, just having appreciation of the opportunity that's in front of me.
Okay, cool. So you got a background in the church. You consider yourself a hip hop artist. You're from Nashville, home of country music for the most part. Or you said the Jubilee Singers, correct?
Yeah, 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 the Jubilee, the Fish Jubilee singer.
Okay. So are there any other genres or sounds that you're gonna explore?
Uh, hmm. I'm gonna just stick to the alt rap. I was thinking about like maybe some R&B, but maybe I might, you know, dabble into it. But we'll see.
Okay, I gotta ask you, what's your dream collaboration, dead or alive?
Ooh, Dead or Alive is crazy. I'm gonna have to say Stevie. I'm gonna have to say Stevie for sure.
Stevie?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
Frank. Yeah.
Okay. Does Frank Ocean even make music still? Is he done?
He do because actually I peeped. He was somebody. I guess they say it's his friend in the UFC, and I be watching the UFC, and he be like posting his music, like with videos of his fighting or like videos of his working out. I'll be like, bro, how does he get the Frank Ocean snippets? Like, what the?
I would love to be Frank Ocean, man. He drops when he wants. He doesn't care about people telling him to drop. He's just on his own timing.
Man, pull up to shows and half doing, bro. Still get paid. Fuck it.
Okay. What's one thing you want new listeners to understand about you after hearing Hit?
That's a great question. I want them to understand that there is swagger that comes from like Nashville. I think I have family from like all over, and they think Nashville is just Bella Hay coming across the street, and that ain't happening. Like I be watching Joe Budden podcast. They be trying to talk about, oh yeah, we finna come to Nashville, have fun. Yeah, you can, because Nashville turned. Yeah, basically, you gonna know that after you hear this song.
Okay, dope, dope. So I'm gonna ask you a little question. This is a fill in the blank, all right? So my music sounds like blank, but feels like blank.
Damn, damn, damn. These are great questions. My music sound like blank, but feels like blank. My music sounds like gold, but feel like money. Nah, that's hard. I don't know. We gonna go with it.
All right, we're gonna go with that one. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question too. So I'm gonna say Tennessee in general. Um, if you had a Tennessee Mount Rushmore of rappers, who's on it? So that's four people, top four from
Top
Tennessee.
four. Tennessee. Okay, so we going. Can I put all the 3 6 on there or not?
Yeah, you could, you could.
Okay, so all the 3 6. Um, we definitely gonna go with Dolph. We definitely go. I don't know. I question it, but I mean, I feel like if I go Dolph, I gotta put Yo Gotti.
I don't
Dang,
got to. This your list. There's
it
no.
is my list, but I'm just saying, like in my own, I feel like I'm gonna miss somebody. But okay, yeah, 3 6, Dolph, Yo Gotti, and Isaiah Rashad. Yeah,
Okay, fine. I didn't know Isaiah Rashad was from Tennessee.
yeah, he was from Chet.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. And this is the last question. What does success look like for Jyou?
Success looks like for me, to literally purely like I think to be on the road, doing music in whatever capacity, and sharing, be able to share like my experience, and like people that have like take my music and like have experiences, because I feel like my favorite songs, I think of them as like moments in my life and stuff like that. So like if people have those same experiences, I feel like with my music, I feel like I'm super successful in.
Okay, man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So, Jyou, to wrap up the interview, let the people know where they can follow you on socials. stream your music, find out more about you, what you got going on.
So you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, J Universe. That's JYOU, and then NIVERSE, and then on all platforms it's JYOU, JU. Yeah.
Okay, dope. And then before we get off, man, just give a shout out to Diamond Cut Media.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is JU, man, and shout out to Diamond Cut Media.
All right, man. You see, make sure you guys check him out. He got his new hit song "Hit" coming out July 11th, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so make sure y'all check that out. It's gonna be out on all streaming platforms. Like I said, I heard it early. I'm rocking with the track. It's a great song, great vibe. So make sure you guys tune in. All right,
So Tion, you the realest, man. Appreciate you,
yeah,
bro.
my boy. And we signing out.